Good afternoon, good evening. What sort of time frame does 5 o'clock come into? I don't really know. However, welcome to episode in week number 200 of Nerdic Pro Weekly. That is correct. 200 episodes, 200 weeks worth of Nerdic Pro Weekly. Unfortunately, not all episodes of Nerdic Pro Weekly are still available to be watched and still available to be listened to, which is a shame, as obviously the Nerdic Pro podcast, as the Nerdic Pro podcast started out as primarily a Facebook-based podcast, and and obviously Facebook had decided to delete live videos over the age of 30 days because they're plums. And yeah, I still don't actually know why they did that, but unfortunately I've not been able to salvage all of the episodes of Nerdic Pro Weekly and all the podcasts from years past. I'm literally going to be sat here for the next hour and a half, playing a bit of Red Dead Redemption 2, and then talking to you guys a bit about wrestling. And I decided to sort of dedicate this episode just to sort of, give a bit of a backstory about the Nerdic Pro podcast, and what the Nerdic Pro and who the Nerdic Pro people are. So there's myself, who runs things here at the Nerdic Pro podcast. You got people like Richie Stoneham. You got Tommy Rump, who's like the football guy. You've got Richie, who's our music guy and part of wrestling. Stuart Jones, who's the general manager. Again, wrestling, football, that sort of stuff. Tommy Lambert, he does a lot of radio shows. So he does 2 radio shows a week, Tuesday nights from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Wednesday morning, UK time, on Ipswich Community Radio, ICR 105.7 FM. And then you got Ian McWilliams from Dublin in Ireland, and then there's Justin Summers from who is a co-owner of Ireland Pro Wrestling on Prince Edward Island in Canada. I'm currently running a trolley station in Saint Denis with Lenny and with Dutch, and so I have been a wrestling fan since the age of 4 years old, and let me get into the thing. Oh, I just killed someone accidentally. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'm currently robbing a trolley station in Saint Denis in Red Dead 2. It's one of the missions you've got to do. Take money from him. And so I decided to start the Nerdic Pro about 4 years ago, and with I say not the Nerdic Pro. I'd done an interview in, I'd say it was March of 2021, with good friend of mine, a guy who wrestles as Smashing Mike. So that originally went up onto the personal page on Facebook, and then fast forward a few months, I then founded the Nerdic Pro podcast with an interview with the professional Nathan Cruz, as seen in NXT, as seen as a former Progress World Champion, the first ever Progress Wrestling World Champion, and former three-time NGW World Heavyweight Champion. The police are now turning up to arrest us on the game, and then started up doing Nerdic Pro Weekly 200 weeks ago, back in, I'd say it was the middle of November 2021 ish, and then it's grown into this with interviews with people like Marty Jones, British wrestling legend, the UK Pitbulls, the Lion Aaron Sharp, because of the podcast, I had started refereeing wrestling through a podcast with the Lion Aaron Sharp, shoot. Let's go inside. Shoot, all right. Towards the end of this month, well, over the past sort of year and a half, we have been sort of branching away from like the wrestling side of things. Obviously, primarily we are a wrestling-based podcast, but I haven't done podcasts with bands and gamers and what have you, and obviously wrestlers and wrestling promoters, etc. Sort of try to branch out to like a wider audience, because obviously we're called the Nerdic Pro Podcast, and obviously the word, like the term nerd, doesn't just refer to us as marks in terms of wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Got no dynamite. Oh my days, my aim is terrible on it. What's happened? Right. But getting on to sort of like current day wrestling bits and pieces. This week's been a bit, shit in terms of, stuff I've been watching. Because literally I've not had, much of a chance to be able to watch much wrestling this week, as, schedules, getting in the way and what have you. Oh dear. There is going to be a predictions pod for WrestlePalooza coming up, but one thing that I would like to mention and speak about is WrestleMania in 2027 being announced Worlds Collide to be in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. That is, I've always said for pretty much since they started doing shows in Saudi that it's all for a like a money gaining thing, because there have been reports that apparently the Saudis have are reportedly paying the WWE / TKO the equivalent to $100 million to be able to do Mania in in Saudi in 2027, which is just, mental. So like if that's the case, then it's clearly just for money. You know what I mean? And so yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. For someone who's a Brit and lives here in the UK, it'll be good to have Mania on finally at a reasonable sort of time. Rather than it being stupid o'clock in the morning, like it's when it started, and carrying on till again even stupid o'clock in the morning. But yeah, due to obviously time differences and what have you, do you know what I mean? So yeah, and he's going to wagon. But yeah, so why am I getting less honour, and why is my honour decreasing if this is a thing that the game wants me to do and shoot the police? Yeah, anyways, yeah, like I am looking forward to Mania being in Saudi. If I fully agree with it, that's an entirely different story. But yeah, I will be going to AEW Dynamite in Manchester at the Co-op Arena, I believe it's called, on the 17th of December this year. And yeah, so that'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I've never actually been to an AEW show before. And yeah, so yeah, I still need to bloody get back into AEW because I've not, as bad as it is, like I've not really been watching tons of wrestling recently. Do you know what I mean? Like as bad as it is, do you know what I mean? When I'm meant to be running this, do you know what I mean? And yeah, so if you want to take a sip and drink, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, good to have seen AJ Lee back the other week on SmackDown, and yeah, good to have seen Lesnar back and what have you, and yeah, so yeah, I can announce that every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. UK time, that will be the new permanent day of Nerdic Pro Weekly starting this coming Thursday. And yeah, so there I'll be, reviewing Raw, SmackDown, NXT, etc. And yeah, yeah, for anyone watching who's willing to, who's wanted to come to some live wrestling, then I will be refereeing for Certified Pro Wrestling next Sunday at the Institute in Braintree. And then Where am I after that? For the Battle Squad show, absolutely mega stacked show for that. And then I will be at again Certified Pro Wrestling at the Institute again in Braintree for their Wrestle Screen show. Then on the 18th of October, I'll be in DOA Wrestling down in Great Yarmouth here in Norfolk. For their TV tapings, so 2 shows in one day, which will be being put out onto TV on the Extreme Sport channel on Freeview channel 271. Also available on the Channel Box app, downloadable on Android and iOS. And so that shall be good. And absolutely mega stacked shows for all them, featuring the very, very best of British professional wrestling today. And so I'm trying to get to the train station bit here in Saint Denis to pay off the bounty I've just incurred in that last mission. What's that new mission that's popped up? Is that us killing Angelo Bronte? Just getting ready for Angelo Bronte. I forgot there's a mission before that. I can only apologise to everyone why podcasts have been shit the past few weeks. I have been trying to sort stuff out and what have you, but again, literally, I've just had nowhere near enough time to be able to put into the podcast or anything. So again, I can only apologise for all that. And so starting Thursday, so this coming Thursday, so that'll be 1, 2, 3. So that'll be, I believe, the 18th of September, 2025. The Nerdic Pro podcast will be completely different. I will be. I've thankfully got like a few days off now, where I'll be watching nothing but wrestling starting from today. Current wrestling, from WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, etc., and then watching retro shows, retro pay-per-views, etc. So this bloody pen decides to work. Like the main focuses will be WWE, TNA, AEW, Ring of Honor, and MLW, Major League Wrestling. Those are sort of like my main sort of interests as well. And then Noah, Pro Wrestling Noah, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW. As I say, there will be another Wrestle Crate unboxing coming out within the next week or two. The day before yesterday, I believe it was. I just brought myself a load more Pokemon cards, and then the day before that, I brought a load more. So one set of them was courtesy of Straight Edge of Violence, the one and only Mr. Jack Bennett, and then courtesy of Titan Cards Limited, which are a big site online. They sell tons of cards from Pokemon to Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, etc. And that will be freshening up for the upcoming Pokemon series here on the Nerdic Pro podcast. Towards the end of this month, with co-owner of Island Pro Wrestling, based on Prince Edward Island in Canada, Mr. Justin Summers, and stay tuned for all that. And as I say, I'm sorry that podcasts have been absolutely abysmal the past few weeks. But yeah, I can promise everyone now that podcasts will be a lot better coming up. And but anyways, be sure to be joining me tonight live on TikTok at 7 o'clock UK time. So in about an hour and 39 minutes. So this coming Thursday, there will be full in-depth reviews of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, pay-per-views, Noah, New Japan, etc., MLW, and you will not want to miss out on any of them. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you for watching. Be sure to be joining live for the new and improved Nerdic Pro podcast this coming Thursday. And I shall be seeing you all there. Goodbye.